Thank you very much. It's actually a great honor to be here today to present what we're doing with IOV. Before telling you what we're doing, I'm going to quickly tell you why we're doing what we're doing. IOV stands for Internet of Values, and we believe that today, in the age of the Internet of Blockchain, we are actually in 1994. That means that the number of blockchain that exists today is comparable to number of websites that existed in 1994. So if you think about what brought the mass adoption to the internet, it's actually three things. It's the email, the DNS, and the browser. What we're doing with IOV, what we're trying to develop, is comparably the same thing. We want to create interoperability. We want to create, we're creating a blockchain name service. We're creating a unique value address, human readable address. And we are creating a protocol to enable different blockchain. Antoine Herzog, my partner in business, will introduce.
So thank you so much, everyone. We are very happy to be here. Today I'm going to speak about what we call the blockchain communication protocol. So just give you a little bit of context. We started the project in December 2017. As I'd say, Karim, our main idea is trying to understand what's the problem right now in terms of mass adoption for blockchain. And one of the problems is actually that each blockchain is speaking its own language. So it's very difficult from an end user point of view to actually being able to speak with all these blockchains, because each blockchain, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and many others have their own protocols. And you look at and when you look at like how for the information it's working differently. You have the HTML, which actually is the protocol to query any kind of website. Whatever the website is, at the end is using whatever language, but it always gives the same protocol. So in order for the end user to empower all these blockchain, we work on what we call the blockchain communication protocol. So very quickly after we just create the company, we won very quickly after in May 2018 a prize in TechCrunch. And so today the IOV technology is a name service that we're going to launch very soon. So a name service is similar to, I would say, the domain name service, but for crypto addresses. We work on the blockchain communication protocol and IOV core. I will speak more about that. And as well with SDK, which is like a Denderming Golang blockchain. I'm going to focus on the blockchain communication protocol. So now, just before going to focus, I wanted to give the highlight picture. Maybe Benjamin, you can come. So this is, we have been working very hard about seeing the big picture of the ecosystem. Maybe you want.
Our blockchain is also like a service, and so a lot of research and work has been done on designing the token economy, which is a interesting part to incentivize people to use the blockchain. So And here we can see that it's combining what is traditionally separated, the settlement property of the token, with the reward distribution allocation. So the more token you get, the more reward you get. And it's all into like a full token economy that is missing in many blockchains these days. But we are very short. So.
Thank you so much. So yeah, as I said, we're going to focus on the blockchain communication. So what is it? It's a protocol between wallet and blockchains. And it's we designed it as an agnostic protocol, which means that, so I'm going to go in detail, it's a set of agnostic standards to communicate between the wallet and the blockchain. So to give more example, we also obviously wrote our first client, which actually implements this protocol. So it's on GitHub, you can check it out. It's open source. So IOV Core, we define an abstract interface called the Blockchain Communication Protocol to access blockchain. So as you can see, IOV Core is a list of packages. So I'm going to speak first about the first one, which is the IOV BCP. It's a package. But at the end, the idea is to actually being able to write packages to connect with blockchain. So we have also wrote two packages, IOV Lisk and IOV Ethereum, which use the blockchain communication protocol. So now let's give you a look of what this interface looks like. So you have a list of functions that is part of the BCP, such as like connect, disconnect, get the chain ID, get the height of the blockchain. So it's abstract functions. For accounts, you have also a list of get account, watch account, get nonce. Obviously, if you want to send a transaction, you need to know the nonce before sending the transaction on a network. Being able to watch the blockchain, and then also being able to send a transaction. So send transaction, watch the transaction, and then query a transaction. So now I'm going just to give you a quick look of what it looks in our package, like IOV Lisk or Ethereum. So I'm going just to give you this. But before, as you can see, the package of IOV Lisk like import the IOV BCP interface. So now, after for any software developer, you need to implement this function to have a package ready and working. So just to give you a sneak peek, for instance, for the get nonce, that as you see as an interface, for Lisk, for instance, there is no, the way you actually generate a nonce is just like you generate a date and time, and you bundle that, and it makes a nonce. So, but it's different for each blockchain, obviously, but the function that we call is the same. We do also support different type of transactions for the BCP. So one is like just sending token, but one other interesting case is atomic swap transaction. So we actually declare a bunch of transactions which, so I think you are aware of what is the atomic swap, but there is different type of transaction. One is offer, one is counter offer, and other different type of atomic swap. So we defined that, and actually we specified to be able to implement this atomic swap transaction, like we did the full specification. So far, the BCP atomic swap is fully specified and implemented on the Tendermint with the Weave SDK and as well on Ethereum. And we did test, and it's working between the two frameworks. So what's next? We're planning to integrate more packages using this abstraction. So we're going to integrate Cosmos and as well Bitcoin. Thank you so much for your attention. If you can try the IOV Core package, it's open source, and feel free to ask me any question if you have.
Yeah. Why do you need the different protocols to communicate with each other?
Okay, so our vision is to say that's going to have more and more blockchains. So we need a kind of a standard to communicate with them. We wanted to have this abstraction layer, so it's very easy for a developer first to create new package, and then being able to easily query blockchain, and then realize this vision of the internet of blockchain, or values, I would say, to get the same specification.
In the internet, for example, you have a limited number of standardized protocol for different things,
Yeah.
for TCP and so on.
Yeah.
And standardization means that in fact you limit the number, and your
Yeah.
vision is on the contrary, that their number will grow very much, and you want to have only
That's not true. It's a work in progress. So the idea is to actually being able to build a standard, you need first to learn of what the reality of the market is. Obviously today each blockchain has their own set of standards. So it has been very important for us to actually learn what kind of abstraction we could actually provide that match as many blockchains as possible. We didn't want to actually specify many. We just wanted to have a minimal sets of functions that can be actually applied on many different blockchains. Yeah.
How do you reconcile UTXO-based blockchains with account-based?
That's a good question. So so we have been focused very on account-based model. Our next goal is actually to see how these two models can work together. It's a huge work, obviously, but that's something interesting, and we want to continue on this direction.
And do you have something for DAG-based blockchain?
Sorry?
For DAG-based.
That's a good question, Doug. Nothing for now, but if everyone is interested to participate, it's welcome.
Other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Very much.